Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Well, my first guest this morning is Philip Swan from the AI Solution Group. Their goal is to help organisations embrace the AI-driven service as software paradigm by engineering solutions to exceed their customers' desired outcomes. Philip, I was recently listening to Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI and ChatGPT, and he was speaking about the 5 stages of AI development, which include chatbots, reasoners, agents, innovators, and artificial general intelligence. Explain this to us in layman's language, please.
Good morning, Karl. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you. Sure. So today with generative AI, you're relying very heavily, exclusively on large language models. And you have companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Meta, everybody with building out these very large models. But what companies are using, not just using OpenAI, they're building these foundational models internally as well, which will really build the guardrails up that their intellectual property does not get released into the wild. And that is a big risk where you have this thing called shadow AI, where your intellectual property as a company is now, in the wild where anybody can see. And there was a very notable example of Samsung's mobile operating system being available in OpenAI because somebody at Samsung had trained the model to use it, right? So there are many other situations like that. And so the important thing here is to ensure that your data is clean. Everything around AI revolves around data. And so the more data that we have, the more we can teach the system to become more and more advanced. So you look at companies like Anthropic and OpenAI and others, there is a march towards artificial general intelligence, which is AGI. And that's where a human cannot differentiate that they're talking to whether they're talking to a human or a computer. And that goes back to the 1950 Turing test from Alan Turing's world. And where we're really progressing towards is rapid iteration towards AGI. Will we have AGI in 2025? Maybe, maybe not. I can't tell the future. Is it ready to go by some of these organizations? It absolutely is. So it's a question of when do we release it into the world. And then the next stage beyond AGI is what Sam was talking about with artificial superintelligence and saying that we would achieve that within three plus years. That is likely the truth. So then what are the responsibilities to humanity and society that you have to do that, right? So it's about retraining people. It's about refactoring in society and making that responsible, and really driving value back to every stakeholder in the company, every stakeholder from the customer, however that works, and to make sure that you are delivering value and outcomes at every step of the journey.
I think one of the things holding many businesses back today is either a lack of internal expertise and capability and also data security. Security
first. This is absolutely critical. So these new systems are breaking frameworks, security frameworks like the NIST security framework or others, and you're starting to see bad actors, whether it's nation states or otherwise, or criminal organizations, spoofing, using AI to effectively break into systems. So security is absolutely key. And most people are talking about data at rest. What happens when you use data in rest? What do you have with data in motion? But nobody is really talking about encryption and security and data in operation. And that is a area that we really focus in long and hard on, so that at every step of the journey, we are building in security features and functionality into every part of our products, so that we alleviate many of the risks and mitigate most of the risks that you have from a security standpoint. AI prompt engineers, AI experts are very, very thin in terms of expertise in the market because we are pioneering. And so we are definitely a central location of that expertise for our clients to come to, not just for our software products, but also for the ability to get these solutions adopted and managed. It's really a change management problem that we're helping our clients solve. We're not a consulting organization, but we have the expertise that we lend to our customers to really bring that adoption to bear. So finding people is hard. The AI Solution Group has these people, and we have the ability to really support not only the industry, but provide our thought leadership in how these agentic systems are going to be deployed safely and responsibly in the world.
And what are your thoughts on the EU Artificial Intelligence Act?
Great question. I think it's really necessary. And if the EU AI, unfortunately, is going to get broken with artificial general intelligence, or AGI. So as forward-thinking as the EU is in terms of protection and responsibility, they're not the only ones, Karl. So in the United States, so globally, there are over 380 pieces of legislation similar to the EU AI Act that are going on right now that have not been adopted. So regulation is absolutely critical in this process. And what we have, which many companies do not have, are the people who understand the legislation like the EU AI Act and what's going on in governments around and state governments in the US is going on here. We have deep knowledge and expertise in that area.
There's lots of people playing with tools and resources like Zapier to create AI agents today.
So everything's the world of pioneering. Think of this like the wild, wild west right now in terms of agentic systems, because everybody's trying to figure out what actually is an agent. It's not a simple answer, Karl, what an agent is. And we've actually written a white paper that we're going to be publishing here in the next month or two that we've worked very closely with industry titans like Microsoft, General Motors, and others to really define what agents are. So it is driving forward an ability to really focus developers and product managers and product owners and business decision makers in thinking what these agents can and cannot and should not do, right? And putting these guardrails. I keep going back to those guardrails.
In your opinion, what companies are leading the way in terms of embracing AI from an ethical standpoint?
Okay, Microsoft for one. That starts with the CEO on down. I believe that Alphabet is too, from Sundar Pichai on down. And you look at other companies out there in financial services industry, as an example, right? Any number of banks, they're already looking at this. So whether you're talking to a Bank of America or any of those other large organizations, when you're talking to those business decision makers and you're talking to those AI experts within those organizations, they're all talking safe and responsible AI. They just don't know how to achieve it yet.
And you believe that 2025 marks a major turning point for autonomous self-learning AI agents?
I do. 2025 is going to be the year for the agent. That ship has already sailed, and so it's unfortunately sailed with very few guardrails. So it's almost like the 1800s California gold rush, where everybody's rushing, and everybody's rushing to the area to do it. And who really make out on all of those? And you saw the people in the infrastructure side are the people who won in that gold rush. So Levi Strauss is a great example of that. We are in a similar position in that we're pioneering this space, and that we're in the position because of our relationships with companies like Microsoft at most senior levels, are able to define some of these tools, going back to your question, but some of these tools that are coming out there, we are able to influence the development of some of these tools and platforms that are going to come out to support agentic systems.
So what's the starting point for a company that wants to embrace AI in their organization in 2025?
The starting point is get a baseline level of what AI is and what AI isn't. So get a reality check, and get a third party. That should be done in less than half an hour of your time, and find somebody who's really good who can do that. That is one. Once you do that, it's really starting to identify use cases, right? What is the use case that's going to have the best impact for your company? And everybody's different. And that's not a simple answer, right? So that is, 1 to 3 days of working together to really identify that. From there, what we identify from that use case is like, okay, what data do we need? And get a readiness, be ready for AI, right? So you have to get ready. And that means your data is clean or clean-ish. Your data does not have to be in a single location. It can be anywhere. But as long as it's your data is you can trust your data, you will start to be able to build a very compelling use case within your company that will then get adopted broadly, that people can see not only the value of the outcome for them personally, but for the company too, because there's the functional component, which is, does it do the job? There's the emotional component of, well, is it going to do me out of a job? No, I'm actually learning to do new stuff. And then the third part is, is the social part, right? It's like we're now showing leadership. So leadership inside of the company, so it helps me with my career, or actual leadership for my company because I'm out competing my competitors because they're struggling with AI. I'm actually using AI to the benefit of my company, and I'm able to drive outcomes for my all my stakeholders and my investors.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Philip Swan from the AI Solution Group, and I'd like to thank Philip for a fascinating insight into the evolving world of artificial intelligence this morning.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.